Welcome. Good evening and welcome to Linda's Stamping Escape. We are here on our live Technique Tuesday and it is May 11th already. Wishing you all a happy Mother's Day. I hope you had a wonderful time. Got to spend it with friends and family. Got myself all set up here. Hello, Beth. How are you today? And Kathy just joined us, and Olivia. Hello, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy you are all here today. I have a new stamp set to share. And I got some glare on there, but it is our Hand-Penned Petals. It is part of a beautiful product suite, and I will be sharing a lot more of that at our launch party, which will be in May, actually in about 2 weeks. So I am totally on the wrong calendar. Oh my gosh, ladies. I think I need someone to just flip my calendars for me. The one upstairs says February and the one down here says April. So I need a calendar flipper. So Olivia says, I see fresh freesia. You are correct. That is the color of the evening. So hi, Nicole. Thanks for stopping in. So happy to see you all today. So yes, we not only have a new stamp set tonight, but we have one of our ink colors, our fresh freesia, and it is such a beautiful, soft, light purple. I love it, and I'm going to be complementing it with the brand new soft succulent. That is also a new ink color, and I'm going to be working with our Stampin Blends tonight. So this makes basically just for the greeting, but I just wanted to share the colors with you. And I had somebody contact me and ask me if I would do a video on the triple time or triple layer or triple stamping technique. So I said, sure. I did a card. Oh my goodness, and I left it upstairs. But I did a card on my blog last week where I showcased the triple time technique. So I believe it was on Sunday's post. So if you pop back there, you'll see it. But they wanted to see exactly step by step how I did that. So it's really quite simple. So that is what we're going to do today. So I do mine a little different than some other people because they do a little extra cutting, but I like to start with my base as my half sheet of paper. So this is, of course, 5.5 by 8.25. I'm sorry, 8.5. And then you score and fold at 4.25. So you get your half sheet. This is your regular A2 size card. And we're going to just flatten that out, get it nice and crisp here. Hi, Tina. Hi, Barb. Welcome, ladies. Okay, and then next up, I saved this cutting for last because I want to show you how I do this and how easy it is when you follow this pattern. So normally when we cut for a quarter sheet, right? And then we leave ourselves a little border. So our cardstock here in our white is 5.25 by 4 inches. So what I do next for my layering, and actually I cut 2 of those, so there's a half sheet. So one of these goes inside, and you will have the other one for the outside. And then your next piece of white, and all I do is reduce those dimensions by 1 inch. That's how simple it is. So we start with 5 1/4 by 4, and then it'll be 4 1/4 by 3, and 3 1/4 by 2. So if you take your base card right here and just reduce it by 1 inch each time, you will get a nice layout. And then all you have to do to get your triple layer here is to add a 1/4 inch on each of these. So this was 4 1/4 by 3. So now this will be 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. And I will put these dimensions back on my blog again, so everybody has them. And then you're going to up that a 1/4 inch as well. So that is 3 1/2 by 4. I'm sorry, by 2 1/4. So it layers very nicely. So let me get this piece out of here because it's a little distracting. So this is how it's going to layer when you're all finished. Now I did add a 4th layer here, and that was only for greeting, and it was just a little scrap, so I'm not sure where we're gonna put this yet, but it was just some leftovers, so I thought, oh, I'll put a greeting on. So let's grab our Whisper White, because those are the pieces we need to stamp on. So these will all be your base, and this will be where we stamp. So I'm just going to grab a little here because it's just easier to get a little piece of adhesive on there, because I want to just hold that down while we're stamping and coloring. Now on Sunday's card, I used the Elegantly Said stamp set, that bundle, and of course with that I used that beautiful solid stamp. So actually I have it right here. So that is the one that I used. So you can see how easy that is just to stamp that. All right, and we're going to just tack that down. There we go. We want to keep these straight. That's kind of why we're tacking this down. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper so I don't get my other piece all dirty. And those are our 3 layers. So this is where that triple time or triple image comes in. So we have Joanne and Chris who have joined us. Welcome, ladies. All right, and we are going to take this big flower image right here, and that's the one that we're inking up. I don't think a lot of people color their triple times, but you can do anything you want with it. So we're going to grab this and stamp right here. Now, normally I tell you not to rock, but because you have 3 layers of paper, you want to make sure that that ink is hitting that last layer. So I am pushing with quite some pressure there and making sure that I get that ink to paper there. So beautiful bouquet here, and perfect for Mother's Day, right? We're going to give a little twist right here. We're going to come down. Remember, as we talked, we want to make sure we actually stamp a little bit off of your paper so it gives it a nice continuous flow. It doesn't just stop. Everything's right in the middle there. Okay. You are going to notice you have little edges that aren't stamped. That is fine. That is part of this technique. And that is hidden when you use your colored mats. So that's what hides that. That's what gives us that really cool look. Okay, so now let's bring these in here. Wrap that around. And I hope I got this in camera well so you guys can see. I notice I'm pushing harder on them edges. Very nice. And one more we'll get up in this corner. And this is a pretty cool bouquet because it's not actually in any particular direction, so you can stamp it as you wish. I'm going to bring this down here. And I'm going to layer right here. And yes, we'll have two pieces of greenery next to each other, but that will be okay. All right. So there is our layering. And I think I'll leave this here so we can just color. And Chris has joined us, and Deb is here. Welcome, ladies. We are using the new Hand-Penned Petals from the new catalog. Beautiful, sweet. All right, and our new in colors. So I am going to start, of course, with our fresh freesia, and I'm going to use the brush tips, and I'm going to pop these both open at the same time. All right, I am going to start with my dark. And I am going to start with the smaller flowers. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to go over them several times because I want the little ones to be nice and dark. And this is such a pretty hand-drawn flower that you don't even have to be real picky when you're coloring. And I like to do circles because for me, it kind of eliminates the brush stroke marks. So this one too, he's a little bigger, but I'm going to do the two big ones in light and then the rest of them in the dark. Okay, I'm going to go back over these little lines, cover this back up, and you'll notice I'll just keep going back over these small ones over and over again. So I can get them nice and dark. And you could use additional colors, but I like to show our new stampers that you don't have to invest $1 million to get yourself started. So we're just going to start small here today and just work with a few of those. So the dark goes on first. Then I bring my light color in, and I'll go right over the dark. There we go. I'm going to come back in here and just go around that edge with the light, and then I'm going to come back with the dark. And I am barely touching this. These are not crayons. They are alcohol markers. So you barely have to touch this before that ink is pulled into your cardstock. So if you're pushing on these like a crayon, you are going to wreck your little tips. So just a little heads up there to just gently be using your tips, especially the brush tips. Okay, so we're going to go around here, and that was actually my light, and I need to do that with my dark. But it won't hurt because it'll just help with our blending. So now I'm going to come back in with the light here. Fill in that flower. And this is cool because of the alcohol and how it soaks into your cardstock. It actually fills up your imaging better than when you when I color it like this than if we would have stamped it. Then you would have seen big spots, and that's why they use those to cover it up. So we're going to come back in here again and barely touch this in here. We just want that color to soak up and create a nice dark little border around there. Okay, so see, look at how that all blended, and it's almost like watercolor. And that is what this can do. Now I'm just going over this a little bit with the lighter color again, just to keep our colors blending nice. And again, barely touching, but I'm going to go back over them dark ones and get them nice and dark. So you can do 3, 4 layers. The more color you apply, the darker they will get. Although it's never going to get dark because it is just our freesia. All right, and I'm going to go one more time. Get that little darker right by those edges. Do I want to add more there? No, I do not. Okay, so now you see how I color my flowers. It's nice and dark. All right, so let's put these away. We'll put our covers on. Make sure you hear that snap when you put that away. And we're going to go with our soft succulent. And again, we're going to use the brush tip. So always look up here and you'll see that it is the brush tip. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to grab our dark one first. And we're going to come in here and we're going to use Stampin' Up's lines on their drawing here, their imagery. And then I'm just going to fill that in lightly. And then this side, I'm going to blend. So you'll get a nice two-tone look when you do it that way. So the one side will be a little bit darker because A, you put that little bit of darkness in there, and B, you went back over it again with the lighter one. But then because we only did this once, it's going to be a lot lighter. So let's do that again. Let's do the big ones down here. Excuse me. We'll start with that dark one. Come in here and use their lines to help you look like an artist. That's what I do. All right, I'm going to fill that in once, and then we're going to come over here, blend that nicely, and then you can always add a little bit more if you want it a little darker. And just bring those two colors together. When that dries, it's going to look really pretty. I always use Stampin' Up's lines to guide me. Just makes me look like I really know what I'm doing. Not that I haven't played around a little bit or taken every art class I could in high school, because I did. Because it was just fun. And who didn't love to color as a kid? Now, isn't that pretty? And then you just finish that off. I'm not going to make you ladies sit here and watch me color this whole thing. But then I brought our Daffodil Delight in here, and I'm actually using the dark one because I want a very bold contrast between that purple and our yellow centers. So look at how that blends together down there. It almost gives you the effect of a pansy, which is kind of pretty because they're one of my favorite flowers. So that's how simple it is to color that. And again, you can leave it as light or make it a little bit darker, all by how much ink that you use. All right, so now I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to be pulling in a fully colored one. So let's do that, because Linda likes to color. So now we can pull these apart. And you can see here that it goes all the way to the edge. But if you were actually stamping this, that would be bare. It would be not stamped on too. I wish. here we go. Here was one that I played with that I actually stamped and colored. So see what happens when you stamp it? You get that white space there. And that is why they put in the little pieces. So that's why you get this in there. And that always covers it up. But then what you do is you align your florals in there. So that's what we're going to do next. So I just wanted to show you what it looked like when you were stamping and why they use these pieces here. Okay, so we are going to grab this and this piece. And remember, when you get soaked through from your markers, that's a good thing. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to look like that. So we're going to put this right here. There we go. Oh, I'm glad you guys like it. All right. And now with our layer on here. Oops, I bumped it. Sorry. Now what we're going to do on this one, am I lining this up? See, what you want to do is get your lines back in alignment. So it looks like you've got this beautiful layer going on, but your flow of your flowers never stops. So the better you can align your leaves and your flowers, the cooler it looks. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to put this piece onto our mat. And then we'll align that one. We're not using any dimensionals with this. Oh my goodness, I'm out of adhesive, so we're going to grab the old one. See how much noisier this one is than the new ones? Okay, so let's get this one aligned and then we'll push it down. Whoa, that looks better. I'm like, that's not lining up good at all. Okay. Got our leaves over here and our flower. Hopefully I'm not sticking my head in there. There we go. So now we got our triple time. And then this one gets applied direct as well. Again, this is why I use my base, and then my measurements are super easy because we just cut like we do all our card bases at 5 1/4 by 4, and then just subtract 1 inch for each layer. And then when you go to work on your bases, then you just want to add 1/4 inch. All right, let's get a greeting on here. Then I have a message here I have to put down here because it's blocking my way. I can't see what you guys are saying. Okay, so we're going to get a little bit here. Remember our little twisty ties? Not twisty ties. Oh, I'm thinking work again, I guess. All right. We got it inked up nice. And I'm not always spot on with these double fonts here, but that one turned out pretty good. I always like to line up my edge of my cardstock, so to speak, with my greeting, but yeah, this is a little crooked. So let's flip it over, and I'm going to try that one more time. But when they have two different greetings in here, I mean, not greetings, two different fonts, sometimes I don't get them, there we go, much better, lined up the way I'd like. And that's why we have two sides to every paper, right, ladies? Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could pop this right smack dab in the middle. Then it would actually be 4 layers. Or you could, you know, put this off to the side, which I think I will do because that way I can have one nice little focal point there. This one I am going to put the dimensionals on. And I want to see how that looks before I... Okay, that looks fine. Thank you, Kathy. She said my directions are helpful. Good. And this is why, you know, someone reached out and said that they really like that technique, but they like to watch. So that is why we are doing this today. So you ladies can feel free to, you know, pick out a technique you'd like to see and just message me. And here's our new in colors. Girls, these are on back order already. That's how hot these in color jewels are. So I was going to get them as prizes for our launch party, but guess what? Because they're on back order, I can't even get my hands on any. So I'm going to place one over here, and we'll do I want 2 on here? I don't want that. We'll throw that off. No, I think I'm just going to have a little fun and place them up and around. How's that one? There we go. We'll get a little guy right up in there. So each one of our 5 in colors are represented in the in color jewels, and they're just so pretty. So this really is a quick and easy technique. If you're stamping in solid images, it goes really fast. This one just took a little longer, or because you are actually coloring. So those who love to color, this is a really fun one. And tomorrow, when you hop onto my blog, you'll get to see this finished one, and I'll back it with the soft succulent instead of the freesia, so you can see what a difference even a card color can make. So I thank you all for joining me, but don't go away. So, because we have a drawing. Oh, and Deb said she's going to rewatch because she missed how I got the 3 layers of flowers. Ah, okay. This is how we use 3 different pieces of paper, and then we stamp on them, and then when you pull them apart and you put the little piece underneath. So it's just 3 cuts, stamp on the whole piece, and then you'll layer your mats in between. So, and yes, feel free to rewatch. Feel free to share with a friend. That is okay too. And again, I will have the dimensions on all of the pieces for you on my blog tomorrow. So do not go away, because I have some prizes to give away from last week for everybody who commented, stopped in, and gave a like or a thumbs up, and we all love them little hearts when they pop up. So these are new, and I'll be giving a sample of these away tonight. So you'll get a couple of each different size here in the 2 different colors. So there they go. Thanks, you guys. Oh, I love it. All right, so let's hop over, and anything you want you can find on, you know, Linda's Stampin' Escape on my website. I have lindalovesstampin'up.net. All right, so here we go. You get to look at here. We're gonna hop over here, and then we have a bunch of ladies that commented and shared shared the page last week. So if you are ready, we will spin. Thank you, Tina. We're going to spin this to see who wins those neat new gems. Beth. Congratulations, Beth. Beth just picked up all her goodies. Now I have more for her. Yay. So, thank you, Cindy. She said came late, but beautiful card. Wonderful. Late is okay. We don't mind. I'm just glad that everybody joins me. Congratulations to Beth. Thank you, everyone. Wow, we did this in 30 minutes. Can you believe it? So, I will see you next week, Tuesday. Keep your eyes peeled for those invitations to the launch party. If you were at the retirement party, you're already connected. So I'm using the same format. We just changed the name. So you'll be able to find me there. I'll be posting all sorts of goodies. And we'll get you all prepped up with that catalog, and then we'll kick off that big party. So have a wonderful evening, ladies. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this triple time technique, and don't be afraid to ask if you want to see something done. So could be baby wipes, could be type of coloring. We've got some new goodies in the catalog, so you'll be seeing some. It's not a new technique, it's an old one, but I'm so glad we could bring it back. So thanks again, and enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.